welcome back, everybody, for another CBSI Hot 10 show. Make sure you go over to comicbookinvest.com and check out the article where I might put a few extra details and things we don't talk about here on the show tonight. And check out all the content we have here on the channel, including sticking around for the qualified, which will start immediately after we're done here. Make sure that you like, you subscribe, you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing this channel. Check out our brand new Discord and come have some conversations with us. We just opened up a lot of different rooms with some pickups areas and whatnot. So give it a look. And speaking of whatnot, if you haven't given that a try, free $15 for first-time users. Sign up down below. No strings attached. Buy for whatever you want from whoever you want. You'll help out the channel and get yourself something cool for free. With that all said, if you want to see our list this week, just hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and we will be right back.
Notable sales.
And our first book's a classic.
War Against Crime number 10. Nice Johnny Craig cover. This is the first Vault of Horror, the first appearance of the Vault Keeper as well. This is a nice 7.0 pedigree for a cool $5,400. Can't complain about that. The census on this book is weird. For the age of this book, the fact that there's a 9.9 out there on the census is a little weird. The fact that there's 7 9/8 out there is interesting. So that's something.
Yeah,
if you want
9.9 for a book from 1949.
Yeah,
that's insane.
I mean, this is a pedigree and it's a 7.0. So
also true.
I am convinced CGC is not a real company.
Is what it is. Hey, if you're looking for a cheaper copy of this, there was a reprint of this out in 2001. So for you EC collectors that don't want to pony up big bucks for a War Against Crime 10, you can always get that reprint from 2001. Yeah.
CGC is totally just a guy in a room who is jealous of what you're sending in and that is better condition than what he's got, so he just marks it down.
Yeah.
I think my name is on a blacklist now. Give them all low grades.
Brucifer, aka Overhang.
Overhang.
That's not a bad nickname to hang.
No.
I thought it was Overhung.
I've had worse.
Sorry, wrong show.
Oh, yeah, wrong show. All right, our next book, though.
We have Wolverine 145, the Nabisco mail away, because, you know, nothing says, hey, kid, let's be healthy, like sending in a mail away from Nabisco, eat all those cookies and all those snacks to get this Wolverine giant size 25th anniversary issue. CGC 9.6 sold for $1,975. Last sale was January for $1,628. So that's a nice uptick in sales. I mean, at a 9.6, it's nice with that all black cover, but not the best Wolverine art.
No, but it's a tough book to track down, and it's a good bounce back because it's close. I think the all-time high is 2K, so it's real close. So it's kind of getting close to it again.
You got to appreciate an artist that will phonetically write his name on a banner when he makes appearances. So it's nice as well.
It's Sienkiewicz, right?
You're supposed to be drawing Wolverine, not Lady Deathstrike. Ah, crap. All right, I'll fix that on the other side.
All right, let me just erase the boobs.
Yeah.
Oh, with that said, I guess we'll just get right into the main list then.
Yay.
Number 10.
Bruce Yane, because we actually have a DC book to talk about.
Took long enough. Hasn't been a DC book in like weeks. I'm sick of X-Men books. Hope we don't have any X-Men books on this list, but we got number 10. We got Wonder Woman, Dead Earth, number 1. This is on the list because James Gunn tweeted, threaded, or IG'd it, or whatever you want to call it. 20 plus sales. Next it. 20 plus sales, averaging $15 to $20. Last week it was a cover price. I hate these big format black label books. I really do. No place to put them.
You got to put them in a magazine box.
I put them with my magazine box. I like some of the titles. I agree. It is a bit of a pain because you got to store them separately, but you can't go wrong with Johnson and Spicer together on a title. It's good stuff.
I'm just more concerned that since they're prestige and we got that square bound, like I'm worried about actually reading the book and damaging it long term by opening the damn thing up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Start making some little creases and.
Just send them to CGC as soon as you get them.
Yeah.
Or just read them and say to hell with it. I'm just going to read a book for a change, not care about its collectible value after the fact.
Nobody does that.
What are you talking about, Joe?
Yeah.
That's like heresy. Come on.
Joe shaves his beard and things just get crazy in his head.
Yes.
Jeez.
Read
All
a
my
book.
speculation was in my beard.
Read a
Oh,
book for
no.
non-monetary value.
If the quality of the show drops, it's because Joe shaved his beard.
Oh, our bearded Samson.
That and we don't have the frenetic energy of Marco today.
There's more pep today.
A little bit more pep. But I'm sorry to tell you, Bruce.
Number 9.
We got an next book right here for you.
This
Factor.
that's X Factor. They don't count.
It's X Factor. It's
It
Apocalypse.
was at the time. It was a better book than X-Men. Just saying. That's my opinion.
80 set. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I'll have to think about it. But we got the Horseman on the cover. This almost made the list last week, but the 24 was doing a bit better because there's still a lot of cheap copies of these selling. Like you could still see $5 ones, sneaking past out there. But by and large, the 30+ sales I saw, most of them around that $15 range. And then there was an oddball, Mark Jewelers, that got $35 mixed in there as well. But
still like these horses better than the Venom horse. That's just me.
Yeah.
I call this the "Hey Kids, Brush Your Teeth" variant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
now that you mention it,
no cavity creeps in this book.
I can't unsee it now. But it is what it is. It's still pretty low on the list, all things considered. But yeah, X-Men's still not going away. We got a long ways to go before X-Men 97 season 2, but yeah, we'll see what else starts to move, including our next book.
Number 8.
Our number 8 book.
Yay. Finally, some indie love on the list. It's nice to see some indies coming back. Gromit's number 1, the 1 in 10. Brett Parsons' recommender book. Brian Posehn writing in there as well. Doing well. This book has a lot of good buzz. Rick Remender always, to me, hits his stride. Just like class stuff like that. When he's dealing with this type of age range and time range, it hits the nostalgia feels. So
mid 80s. I think we were early to mid 80s.
84. This book follows the Sacramento skate scene in 84, kind of kicking off that skate culture with punk rock mix. It's a fun read. It's kind of dealing with these two friends that get into skating, and then they also are both kind of navigating coming from a troubled home and just kind of like dealing with that sort of stuff in an era where honestly nobody really cared about your problems.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting fun
it hits
read.
the feels as a kid who skated a lot in the 80s. It's
if you
You
like
get over your beard.
if you like
No,
Jonah
I didn't
Hill's
skate over my-
A24 movie mid-90s, this is kind of a lot of that same feel in this. So I would definitely say check it out if you were into that skate culture.
I liked it as a kid.
I still got to read this. I just got mine in today, but this is the 1 in 10. The 1 in 20 is pretty cool too, with that arcade reflection. And then there's also a 1 in 25, but those aren't doing as well as the 1 in 10. And I think the 1 in 25's got like a callback to an old skater, I think, who's passed, like something about the design on the deck. My buddy at work was telling me about it. It connects back to that age, but cool stuff. Even seeing the 7-Eleven knockoff back there gets me a little bit because I don't see 7-Elevens anymore.
Oh, I remember hanging out in front of a 7-Eleven, smoking darts, trying to launch off of poorly constructed launch ramps. It was,
Smoking darts.
It was a good time. It was a good time. Different time, but I'm happy. I'm happy to see books that people are excited about the stories making a list. That makes me happy.
I got you. All right, we got lucky
Number 7.
Our number 7 book is also an indie book, and it's Brubaker and Phillips, and I'm a big fan of these two. Anything they do, I get, because it's going to be great. And Criminal was no exception, and we know we're now getting Jax. Charlie Hunnam is going to be playing somebody in this, probably one of the mainish type characters. Then a couple other casting bits I think the week
John
before
Hawkes.
we had a girl. Who was the lady?
John Hawkes from Deadwood and Eastbound and Down is going to be in there. Yeah, they had 2 other announcements for
Ray Liotta would have been the perfect casting for this character if before he died.
Ray Liotta. But we had like 20 plus sales, and it's hitting around $20, and a 9.8 even hit 250 on this bad boy. I know this has been talked about for a while, but Amazon's been coming up with more and more content lately, so I expect not only this to come out, but I'm hoping
you can take your Mylar verse and put that somewhere else and give me a Brubaker Phillips verse, and I
who?
Yeah, I want Incognito. I want Sleeper done. Who was it? Killer Be Killed? Was that the other one they did? Tons of good content we can get out of those.
Everything they put out is just so suitable for the live action. And good stories, good stuff.
Absolutely. All right, with that, let's see what our next one is.
Number 6.
More DC silliness.
We got Superman 264. This is on the list because a SNL alumni was cast in the Superman movie. Beck Bennett, probably one of the more funnier cast members from SNL in the last couple of years. He will be playing Steve Lombardi, reporter at the Daily Planet. We got sales around 30 plus sales, I believe.
Yes.
Going about average of $10 to $15, and a CGC 9.8 sold for $290. I can't believe James Gunn is still casting this film while they're actually in production.
Well, a guy that's probably gonna have like 2 lines in the film.
Yeah,
it's not that big of a deal. You just throw him in and be like, "Hey, say this here."
Okay. And you gotta love this cover: "The Secret of the Phantom Quarterback."
Yeah, you got an invisible quarterback pushing soups over.
Hey, I'm the quarterback. See, I'm the quarterback.
You can take this out of a back issue bin for next to nothing. This would be a couple of bucks. Not to say this isn't an investable type of book, but look at that 9.8 price. Like, if you can find a nice copy, you can get it for cheap.
Yeah,
you love it. Who knows?
Sign that man to the Jets because his stiff arm is sick.
What are you talking about? We already had the invisible quarterback last year after his ACL. Oh, boy. Lot to look forward to for this season, but we're not going to talk football today. We're going to move on to our next book on the list.
No football.
Number 5.
Talk video games instead.
Video games.
Vidya.
Anyway, Cult of the Lamb. I will admit I didn't know much about this. I just know it's a video game property. It's got like a cult following, apparently, and it's pretty popular. Yeah. Evidenced by the amount of incentives they gave this book. Like, this is the 1 in 100, but there's like a 1 in 50, 1 in 25. There's a ton of different versions of this book out there. But the Stan Sakai, kind of a sketch cover. I mean, it's in red, so I guess it's a sketch cover. It's only like 5 sales, but that's a decent amount for a 1 in 100. And at $150 a clip, with the last one hitting 180, this one seems to be trending up, all things considered.
I think there was a Kickstarter too before this as well.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was a Kickstarter. But the 1 in 50 is the color version of this, which also isn't bad. So if you like the Sakai, and that one's doing right around ratio still, but the 1 in 100 seems to be the one that collectors are gravitating towards for this.
Video game properties into comic books is a niche, and it does well.
I don't know. Plus cutesy, Cult of the Lamb. It's got some sort of like dark, foreboding kind of like quality to it. So I don't know.
Do you know if there were any store exclusives for this?
Not that I'm aware of, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was like one.
There were a lot of covers for this. I'm not sure whether they're exclusives, but I wouldn't be surprised either. But like I said, when you have a fan base that's very rabid about a video game and you throw a comic in there, you get comic people buying it that would normally buy it to spec on it, and you get video game people. Pushes those prices up.
But I would also say, even with this is more of an independent book. So even if a store did do this, it's not like a Marvel or DC where they got the minimum order. So they're not going to have 3,000 copies that they're ordering for a book like this. They'll get like a couple hundred maybe. So even with that, I still think the 1 in 100s are probably going to be pretty tough because, again, I don't know how many of us old heads know about these crazy video games these days that kids are all gravitating towards.
Crazy kids.
It seems like, what do you call it? Fortnite. I don't know anything about Fortnite. I'm too old for that.
I play Fortnite.
I'm just saying, it's past my time.
Yeah,
Give me GoldenEye.
Sticks plays Fortnite, and he's 752.
Yeah, give me GoldenEye, and I'm happy. I'll roll with some Call of Duty. That's about the best you're getting out of me. That stuff.
Sticks invented hopscotch.
Oh, but with that, all right, let's see what we got next.
Number 4.
I do love this cover.
It is beautiful. Nice Rain Gonzalez, 1-10, Falling in Love on the Path to Hell. Jerry Dugan putting together a fun little story. Again, we have indie book with an interesting story that people seem to like. You get your samurai lovers, you got your Western lovers.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it together, and you got a love story, and it's going to be a pretty interesting read.
I want to start a new thing: covers with cherry blossoms.
The cherry blossoms look awesome.
Well,
yeah, they do look great.
The cover A is also really nice looking, and there is a 1 in 25, but that's honestly the worst of the bunch, if you ask me. But
yeah, the A, I love the A cover and this cover. They're great, but again, it's nice to see. You know, it's not burning off the charts at some ridiculous amount, but yeah, people are drawn to it, and
it's a slower week overall. If you haven't noticed, with a lot of the books we're talking about here, we're talking $20-$25 at best. It's kind of a slow time in the market right now. We might, as Matt was saying before we started, we might need to wait until San Diego before we start seeing some rush on some new stuff, because it's just kind of slow moving. We're kind of just chugging along right now.
Gunslingers and samurai. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah. With that, let's see what we got in our top 3, though.
Number 3.
We got Venom.
Yes, at number 3, we have Venom the Hunted. At number 1, the first cameo of the Xenophage. If you watch the Venom 3 trailer, The Last Dance, you got a little peekaboo at that. Why this book is selling for 30+ sales at an average of $15, set of 1 to 3 going for 30, is a little bit of a shocker, considering you don't get the first full appearance of that the Xenophage until the Hunted issue 2. But people want the first cameo more than
I think it's just initial
full
reactions. They just go, "Oh, want the first book." That's got to be it. This is the first appearance.
I think somebody needs to send him to Apocalypse's dentist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
These are
a lot of teeth.
Just for a little whitening.
Personally,
Plus,
I'm a little
who
bit.
doesn't love saying Xenophage?
I'm a little bit disappointed that trailer didn't give us a little bit of a Knoll love or rub and get those Knoll books moving again. But
we got Knoll's teeth right here.
Yeah, here you go.
Oh, I don't know. It looked like a Demogorgon to me running around in that movie, but just saying.
But I think that trailer, I think you're gonna start seeing a lot more Venom books pop up over the weeks. I think you're gonna get like your first Agony and Riot and Lasher and all these just blown up out of nowhere out of people
and whoever else we can think of.
Yep.
But still fun to have books like this that gives you something you go dig for, because that's a book you could still go find in those cheap boxes, those dollar boxes, if you go looking, because no one cared last week.
It's leveling somebody's table underneath the lake.
Exactly.
Number 2.
But our number 2 is kind of a familiar book.
Doom is back on the list. Not cover A, but the 1 in 25 Maria Wolf variant. It's averaging about $55 and high of 70, about 20 sales. I do not like this cover. I guess it's good for Maria Wolf, I guess.
But Maria Wolf has been hit and miss for me. For a Maria Wolf cover, I like this.
Yeah, it's all right. I like the details. She has nice little fine details in there. Proportions and the angles a little exaggerated, but
that arm is huge.
And apparently
wow.
needs deodorant because it's smoky.
Get up in there.
It's playing catch up when you have an A cover go to $30 or $40, and people are going to start chasing.
That was 2 weeks ago we were joking about that the cover A was more than the 1 in 25, and now
I mean, people aren't going to go run and chase a 1 in 100. That's just it's price prohibitive. But a 1 in 25, people will go out there and take a gamble. True. So it's catching up.
I mean, it's odd to see the market. Like we were saying before, that a lot of these 1 in 25 books are selling for well under ratio right now. It's so weird. You're seeing the A covers go for way more, and these 1 in 25s can barely hit ratio. So
like look at all of the Ultimate books, like all of the Ultimate titles. If they hit the Spider-Man, the Black Panther, it was just the cover A's. Nobody really cared much about the incentives. The odd 1 in 100 kind of hit, I think, with Black Panther. But
I was surprised that the was it Ultimate Black Panther #3, the second printing 1 in 25 Raza? It was below ratio. I was like, what? Such a good cover.
People are just easing up on what they want to throw money at, I guess, these days.
People are saving up for that 7th print of Ultimate Spider-Man #1.
Or that 10th print of Void Rivals.
Yeah. Well, you don't know. Void, all those, they're fine. You can always find those. Many different versions of Void Rivals. You can get those. They rarely get to command much on the aftermarket. But the A and the Granov are still selling pretty well. They're just not doing more than they have been. So that's why you're not seeing them repeat on the list again. Plus, I'm sure you're happy to not see those books on here. But just a reminder, they're still selling pretty well. So don't think that they're gone completely. But that does leave us with one more.
And our number 1.
And our top book.
Wolverine #1, the spoiler cover.
Spoiler.
I thought we were done with Wolverine.
Has he got his own series now?
Dackett, yes.
We're just
and I blame
beginning.
people who bought this series, like Pete, who are part of the problem.
I was curious what the spoiler was. Look at the spoiler cover.
Yes, we had our reveal that Wolverine's favorite son, Dakin, is our Wolverine in the Marvel Universe. Take it for
He's
what
alive
it is,
after being dead for a month and a half.
Yes.
I was about to say, I know he died. Somebody killed him.
It's comic books. Everybody comes back.
They do. They go to great lengths to make
But
you
it gives
think
him
it's
something to do.
Logan, but it's Dak. We had 70+ sales, averaging $10 to $15. Highest was a $20 sale.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's just a book you might be able to go and find out on the shelf of your shop still, and people are getting a little excited over. There's not a lot to get excited about because it's just one of those weird times. There's a lot of good books to read, but I don't know. As far as investing goes, people are reaching
blood
for
hunts
anything.
out there. You like blood hunt? A lot of blood hunt.
I mean, look at all the things we had. The Assembly. People were running out to buy the Assembly. What kind of worst superhero team name is the Assembly?
The Assembly.
Then we got Wolverine, which we knew wasn't going to last because how could Wolverine be a Wolverine and he's in all these titles? Well, easy. Hand it off to his son. Let him be the Wolverine now.
The only pass I give to people that bought this book are the Scotty Young chasers. Otherwise, why? Otherwise, he's part of the problem. Of why books like this.
I'll admit it. I told you, I'm part of the problem. I'll take it on. I'll take on the responsibility.
People saw the heat when we saw Wolverine for that first time, and that book carried for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Hey, it almost made it.
Still, it's still doing okay.
It almost made the list again. It started to bounce back. Well, I don't want to spoil things, but right after we're done, you can go check out the books that almost made the list on the outside looking in.
And we got some
Maybe that one's on there
tonight. We're gonna take a nice look at some swimsuit covers.
Spicy.
So, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. A lot of bathing suits tonight.
I didn't know She-Hulk's back up in that way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She is flexible. So yeah, we'll be looking back. A lot of 90s goodness. A lot of 90s goodness in those swimsuit editions. So
stick around for that. Summer's coming. Have some fun looking at some of these old swimsuit covers.
Yeah.
And we'll be back with another list next week. All right. See y'all later.
Good night.
No.